Do you want to do more than follow orders? Think outside of the box and manifest your dreams? Then you've come to the right show. Welcome to the award-winning podcast, Holding Down the Fort by US VetWealth. I'm your host, Jen Amos, a Gold Star daughter, veteran spouse, and entrepreneur. For Season 8, we continue our wonderful partnership with the Rosie Network to highlight motivational stories of personal growth, financial awareness, and autonomy in our military community. We're also excited to showcase our partnership with Blue Water Advisors. Well, we have a lot in store for you this season, so let's get started. Well, hello there, everyone. Welcome to the Season 8 trailer for Holding Down the Fort by US VetWealth, still in partnership with the Rosie Network. I'm your host, Jen Amos, and I want to say hi. You may notice something new. I got me a wireless microphone. I talk extensively about this in our bonus content, which you can learn more about as I talk. And lots have happened since Season 7. And so I'm just here today to give you the heads up on what to look forward to with Season 8. And also, this is an opportunity for me. It's funny because this is the first episode you're listening to, but this is actually one of the last episodes that I'm recording for the season. At this point, all the guests are lined up for you for the next 13 weeks. And like I said, I'll get into that later. I'll get into that now. I have my notes in front of me. And again, I'm warming up to coming back into the show. Even though the last season ended in the fall, or it was in the fall, it's just been a pretty wild ride between then. And I'm just so happy to be here to welcome you to a new season. All right, let's get into it. For this season, we will continue to highlight motivational stories of personal growth, financial awareness, and autonomy in the military community. We will continue to be featuring a new set of graduates from the Rosie Network's Service to CEO program, hearing their stories of how they did more than follow orders, thought outside the box, and manifested their dreams. Yeah, so that is what we're going to continue doing. Similar theme, new stories, new sources of inspiration and hope, and reminders and affirmation that anything is possible should you put your mind to it. Where there's a will, there's a way. This season, it's my hope that, and this is me just poking fun at myself, it's my hope that my audio quality will be a little more consistent. I'm going to say a little more. That's why I winked on purpose. If you're watching, by the way, we have a YouTube channel. So if you want to see this on YouTube, I just winked. For everyone else, I just winked. And yeah, it's my hope that my audio quality is a little more consistent for you. Season 7 was very humbling for me, as every season is. I feel like every season, I'm just always reminded of Jen, you're human. And done is better than perfect. But as you can see, I got a wireless microphone specifically for the hope that at least in this introduction and upcoming introductions, you'll hear me a little bit better. And I also just want to remind you all that this is not about me anyway. Part of why I am totally fine with my level of audio quality is to hopefully have you focus on the stories that we're featuring on the show. It's very important to me. Otherwise, the show wouldn't exist. It wouldn't exist without the stories of our military community. So it's more about them than it is about me. That's why I can poke fun at myself, because it's not about me. But yeah, I do hope you appreciate this audio quality. It took a while to get here. And I talk more about it. I talk more about it in bonus content, which I'll get to later. But yes, hopefully better audio quality, continuing to feature a new set of Service CEO graduates from the Rosie Network. We're going to be on for 13 weeks, just like we were in the fall season. And every Mondays is when you will hear a story from someone at the Rosie Network. So stay tuned for that. Additionally, what's new for this season is last season, I did take the time to interview people from my company, US VetWealth, anyone that was involved or is a client. This season, I'm excited to take a break from that and introduce you all to my husband. I mean, if you've been following the show, you probably know him at this point. And he has co-hosted with me on Thursdays. Well, now for the upcoming Thursdays, I'll still be here. I'll still do like introductions like this to introduce you to the replays of the live shows that my husband, Scott, has done with our dear friend and referral partner, collaborator, Mike Wallace, who's a CEO of Blue Water Advisors. And so I want to get you in the right headspace when you listen to these conversations. And I will continue to bring this up as we start to release these episodes. The reason why I am choosing to share the replays of my husband's live show, which you can easily access on the US VetWealth YouTube channel or on LinkedIn, or if you're already familiar with our company, is yes, part of it is obviously, showing you who we are and what we do, but more importantly, give you a glimpse into our world as we walk this entrepreneurial path as the Service to CEO graduates have, and show you that it takes a village. It takes a village, to serve, to offer a product and a service in the marketplace. It takes a village. And my hope for you, especially if you are a career military transitioning or a military retiree, or someone, someone that is transitioning or is a military retiree, to see this amazing partnership between Scott and Mike Wallace. The reason why we have formulated this partnership with US VetWealth and Blue Water Advisors is because we have a common goal that also aligns with the show, a common goal to help military retirees with financial planning and career progression, aka, finding employment in post-military. So while Mondays you get the entrepreneurial stories, Thursdays you're going to get, stories and inspiration on how to find a job, how to find the right job to match or make more of what you made in the military. So I hope that this season you get a good balance of entrepreneurial and employment stories, all in the spirit of personal growth, financial awareness, and autonomy in our military community. So I'm really excited to feature that. I will give you the heads up that with a lot of these live replays, you're going to see the progression of this live show and how it's been renamed from Scott's book, which is Don't Forget Your War Chest, to Take a Knee Tuesdays with Mike Wallace. It's funny because I'm releasing this on Thursdays, but the live show was called Take a Knee Tuesdays. You're going to see our growth. You're going to see how we improve. You're going to see how we develop. I will give you the heads up that we'll mention some things, some events that may be outdated by the time the episode comes out. But again, I just want to remind you that the intent of these replays, that Dennis, my editor, has done a great job, editing for the podcast for your listening ears, or even to rewatch it on YouTube, is the intent of sharing these is to give you a glimpse into our ever-evolving entrepreneurial journey for my husband and I, and also to hopefully for those who do not want to take that journey, to listen in on the reframe of post-military employment opportunities to career progression. Career progression is a very important keyword for Mike Wallace and Blue Water Advisors. They prefer to say career progression than, like career consultants or military transition. They have a very, very clear reason as to why they choose those words specifically. But this is about learning about career progression for military retirees seeking employment in post-military life. Although these episodes will be outdated but edited to hopefully sound evergreen for you, if you want to stay up to date with the show, with the live show, you can always subscribe to the US VetWealth YouTube channel, which the username is USVW TV. That's USVW as in US VetWealth TV, USVW TV. So I actually didn't know, I'm a millennial, but I didn't realize that YouTube channels have usernames now. So yeah, the username for our YouTube channel is USVW TV. So there you have it. So as a recap, Mondays, we're going to continue to release, we're going to, present news stories from the Service to CEO graduates of the Rosie Network. And Thursdays, you're going to get the edited, hopefully evergreen replays of my husband's show, Take a Knee Tuesdays with Mike Wallace from Blue Water Advisors. You will still see me at the beginning to give you the heads up on what each episode is going to be about. And you will hear from me in the post commentary as well after the theme song of our show, which by the way is still the same. because I really like that song. I'm just saying. I don't know if you guys like the song, but I like the song. The thing is, as a podcaster, you have to pick theme songs that you know won't drive you insane and that motivate you. And I don't know about you, but I like my theme song. It's very motivating to me. So some things to keep in mind in this season. Let's get to some call to actions. What to do next? What are our next steps here? Well, I want to let you know that just like with last season, I will not be verbalizing people's contact information via audio or video. I will not be verbalizing it because what I have found throughout the years is that guests may change their websites. They may change their social media usernames. And so just know that when you listen to these conversations, when you listen to these stories, if ever you want to get a hold of anyone, to check the show notes of each episode. And it's in the show notes. So you can see this when you look up the podcast episode. You can see this when you visit holdingdownthefortpodcast.com and you look up their name in the search or you look up their episode number. Their contact information will be available in the show notes. Whatever contact information they gave me, whether it's their website, their social media links, their email, it'll be provided there for you. And it'll continue to be updated there should the guest reach out to me and say, hey, I have a new website now. So fun tip for anyone that is a content creator that's trying to create evergreen content is to put the contact info of your guest in the show notes. So that is what is to be expected. If you want to get a hold of the guest on the show, check the show notes. If you don't know how to do that on your preferred podcasting app, just visit our website, holdingdownthefortpodcast.com. All right. We also will have a newsletter available. This newsletter, whether or not you subscribe to it, will be available publicly. We always push out the newsletter on our social media platforms. However, if you do want to get it straight into your inbox, I will provide it in the show notes on how you can subscribe so that you can get the newsletter. The newsletter will, be a recap of the episodes we've released thus far, and it'll also give you a sneak peek into our free portal. We have a free online portal that we launched in season 7, and I have an official name for it now. So it is a portal. It's our Holding Down the Fort portal that is brought to you by US VetWealth. And in that portal, we have a private podcast. We have a free behind the scenes podcast, the unadulterated, unfiltered, rated R bonus podcast called, wait for it. It's a very clever title. I worked really hard on picking this title. Our private podcast is called Inside the Fort. That's right. Inside the Fort by US VetWealth. And the reason why this is available in the free portal, which you can access right now, is because, throughout the years of podcasting, and I'm being nostalgic for a reason. By the way, I'll get to that in a little bit here. Throughout the years of podcasting, I have often been asked, how to start a podcast, how to keep going, what equipment do you need, all the things. And also, I've been asked about my journey as an entrepreneur. I have been self-employed since 2010. So this is my 14th year of living this digital nomad life. Hence the different background you're seeing. This background is not going to be the same one you're going to see in the upcoming recordings. You'll see me kind of change backgrounds a lot. And I'll talk about that very thoroughly inside the fort. But yeah, Inside the Fort is 1, access to our free portal, and 2, just bonus content, a more candid commentary on this journey of entrepreneurship and podcasting. And if our guests are so inclined, to share bonus content from them as well, if they have additional resources that they want to provide. So you can access this free portal now by visiting holdingdownthefortpodcast.com/portal. So once again, that's holdingdownthefortpodcast.com/portal. And when you get access to this portal, not only do you get access to Inside the Fort, you get access to all the free resources that US VetWealth has to offer at any given moment. We're, just like with every entrepreneur, we're an ever-evolving company. We're ever-evolving, we're ever-growing. And our online portal, our free portal, really reflects that. And I guess that's why it's also free, because it's kind of like it's our testing ground for lots of things, lots of fun things. It's like our incubator, But also, we have often found that when people express an interest in our offerings, in the US VetWealth offerings, it's often because of all the content, all the free content that we're able to share. They're able to self-educate and see for themselves if talking to us is worth their time or not. And that's really all we're trying to do here is give you enough education and free resources that you need to make a confident and informed decision about your finances. So like I said, if you join our portal, holdingdownthefort.podcast.com/portal, it's free. You can opt out anytime. But if you join, you get access to the private podcast here inside the fort, very candid commentary, and you get access to all the free resources and education that my company, US VetWealth, has to offer. Last call to action is that if you enjoy the show, it would mean the world to me if you can leave a 5-star written review. Yes, it's a lot to ask, but I don't think it's a lot to ask if you get a lot of value from the show. So if you enjoy the show, a review means everything to me. You can leave a review on Apple Podcasts, on Podchaser. These links will be available in the show notes, by the way. Or you can leave me a LinkedIn recommendation. It would just mean the world. As a digital marketer, as an online marketer, I only know if things work if I hear from people. So if you would like for me to know how I'm doing, like whenever you drive behind a truck and there's it has a sticker and it says, "How's my driving?" and they add a phone number. That's essentially what I'm asking for is, how's my podcasting? How's my content? Would love to have you leave a review. It'd mean the world to me. If you had to pick one place to leave a review, I would say a LinkedIn recommendation would be great. So as I wrap up here, I have a lot of initial reflections for this season. And I want to encourage you now to join me in the free portal. Again, holdingdownthefort.podcast.com/portal. Because prior to doing this recording, I think I did an hour commentary, just getting to the headspace of starting a new season. I've been nostalgic. I've been doing a lot of reflecting for a number of reasons. But one of the biggest reason is that this season, we are going to hit 200 episodes. And that blows my mind because I still remember 100 episodes ago. And I still remember the first episode I did when I started. And it's a milestone. It's a milestone for the show to hit 200 episodes this season. So that's something we all have to look forward to. I already know what episode 200 is going to be like. I know who the special guest is going to be. And you all have something to look forward to when we hit episode 200. But yeah, in spirit of hitting 200 episodes and having podcast for 5 years now, this year is my 5th year in podcasting, I may or may not go down memory lane. We'll see. You might hear me talk about it in the intros, post commentary, or inside the fort in our free portal at holdingdownthefort.podcast.com/portal. So it's very interesting to reflect on how this show still holds the same name as the beginning, Holding Down the Fort. I still remember when it started. I still remember when my team and I came up with the name. And I've come to learn that in spirit of holding down the fort for this show, it has required a constant practice of self-reflection and evolution, to maintain something. And in this case, the show. I'm personally proud of myself for having gone this far in producing the show. I'm proud of my team. It takes a village. It takes a village to make this possible. And for everyone, past, present, and future who has participated in this show, it means the world. And again, I talk about it extensively and candidly and unfilteredly, as I know it's not a word, but I just made it up, in holdingdownthefort.podcast.com/portal. So if you want to hear more of this, but a little more candid, a little more raw, a little more unfiltered, go to holdingdownthefort.podcast.com/portal. Anyway, thank you for listening. Welcome to the trailer episode of Holding Down the Fort by US VetWealth in partnership with the Rosie Network. I'm so excited to bring you along the journey. I really am. And I'm excited to introduce you to some incredible guests, incredible stories, and, to just feel grateful that we'll be hitting 200 episodes this season. So, all right, that's all. This coming Monday, expect the first interview to come out. It's a good one. Not going to tell you what it is. I will give you a hint, though. It's someone from the Rosie Network. That's not really a hint because I said that earlier, but that's all I'm going to give you. All right. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you on Monday. So there's going to be no I think this is the only episode I'm not going to do a post commentary for because this is basically the commentary. But yes, I will see you all first thing Monday, introducing the first guest from the Service to CEO program by the Rosie Network. See you then. Hey, this is your host, Jen Amos. Thanks again for listening to today's episode of Holding Down the Fort by US VetWealth. Visit holdingdownthefortpodcast.com to access the full show notes of this episode, including resources mentioned and bonus content. Once again, that's holdingdownthefortpodcast.com. Lastly, stay after this outro music for something a little extra. Thanks again and chat soon. Bye for now.